There is extreme anxiety within Ireland's government about a possible no-deal outcome between the UK and the EU, with Britain's closest neighbour having more to lose than any other country, an ex-Irish diplomat has said. Ray Bassett, Ireland's former ambassador to Canada, Jamaica and the Bahamas, has also described the attitude of Foreign Minister Simon Coveney towards fishing as bizarre and a good example of Stockholm Syndrome. Mr. Bassett was speaking after Ireland's Taoiseach, Michael Martin, described the ongoing negotiations between London and Brussels to try and hammer out a trade deal as very challenging, not least because Prime Minister Boris Johnson has set a deadline of October 15 for an agreement to be struck. Meanwhile, Mr. Coveney said he did not think a deal could be done unless the UK adjusted its stance when it came to fishing rights, and also said the fish were shared stocks rather than British fish. Mr. Bassett said, "There is extreme anxiety in the Irish government about the possibility of a no-deal outcome. Ireland has more to lose than any other country if Brexit goes wrong, so hence Martin's worry. It is genuine." Mr. Bassett chronicled the bad deal he believes Ireland gets when it comes to fishing in his recent book, Ireland and the EU Post-Brexit. Turning his attention to Mr. Coveney, he said, Coveney's latest outburst on the UK's position on fishing is bizarre, given that Ireland, as a coastal state with a large maritime area, is a huge loser in the current arrangements. We get less of the percentage fish in our waters than the UK in its waters. Coveney is a good example of Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome refers to a psychological state where hostages begin to sympathize with their captors, and was coined after a bank robbery in the Swedish capital in 1973. Mr. Bassett added, "I believe they realize that they will only have a minor input into the final deal, apart from the border with Northern Ireland. Coveney and Martin are just expressing frustration. They should openly say we want a good deal for the UK because it would be good for us." Speaking today, Mr. Martin said the mood around the talks had improved but added, "There needs to be movement in terms of getting into end-stage negotiations and we feel there's a lot of work to be done yet on a number of fronts."